Okay, so now we're going to have a look at part B from question 26. So in part B, we are asked how many times does the swing reach the closest point to the camera during the first 10 seconds? Well, the swing starts at the furthest possible point. So you have to think about what's going on here. We've got the swing over here. It starts at the furthest possible point, and then it will swing in here, and then it will swing back, and maybe it makes it all the way back, maybe it doesn't. Let's imagine that it does, because that's pretty much what the model tells us. So it makes it back, and then forward, and forward, and so on. So we want to know how many times does it get here? Well, one way to do this is to find the period. If we find the period, that will tell us how long it takes to do a full cycle from the furthest point to the closest point back to the furthest point. If we divide that period by 2, that will tell us how long it takes to make a half period. And we can use that to work out in a 10-second gap how many times it will reach the closest point. So the period relates to this term here, which this term in front of the t inside the cosine. This is sometimes referred to as the periodicity number or period number. It's not the period, but it is related to it. So we'll call this B. B is equal to 5 pi on 4. Well, when we think about the period of a function, the period of a function is equal to 2 pi divided by b. And what this number means intuitively, the number in front of the t, is it tells you how many repetitions of a complete iteration of the wave occur between 0 and 2 pi. So if the number in front of t is 1, one iteration of the wave occurs between 0 and 2 pi. If the number is 2, so 2t, 2 iterations of the wave occur between 0 and 2 pi. So here, 5 pi on 4 iterations of the wave occur between 0 and 2 pi. That's not very easy to understand what that means, but it is definitely true. So we can plug this in and we can simplify. The period is equal to 2 pi divided by 5 pi on 4. Well, straight away, we can invert and multiply. We've got this is 2 pi divided by 5 pi on 4. This is the same as invert and multiply. This is 2 pi times 4 on 5 pi. The pi's cancel. 2 times 4 is 8. This is 8 on 5. So this is what we've got. And what this means is every 8 on 5 seconds, a full swing forwards and backwards is completed. And so this means, if we write this as decimal, this is in fact 1.6. So 1.6 seconds is a full back to front to back rotation. Right? We're starting at the back, moving to the front, going back to the back every 1.6 seconds. So now we just need to work out within a 10-second time period, how many times does it reach the front? So we could draw a number line. So we'll go from 0 to 10. So 1.6 seconds for the full back to front. So that means at 0.8 seconds, it reaches the front the first time. Now it will take another 1.6 seconds to reach the front again. So it will reach the front at 2.4 seconds. It will reach the front at 4.0 seconds. It'll reach the front at 5.6 seconds. It'll reach the front at 7.2 seconds. It'll reach the front at 8.8 seconds. And then the next one will actually be after the 10-second time period. It will be at 10.4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many times does the swing reach the closest point to the camera during the first 10 seconds? 6 times. And we found the solution to this by identifying the period of the function. We thought about what we were solving. We used a term from the formula we had just found, the b value in order to find the period. We then thought about what the period meant in the context of this problem. We're able to find that it took 1.6 seconds to do a full back, front, back swing. So this is a full from furthest point, closest point, furthest point. And then we're able to just count, right? At that point, you're just counting. If you're just counting these problems out, make sure you count properly, right? A lot of people will say, oh, the first one happens at 1.6, then 3.2, 4.8, and so on. They'll get the right answer, but they'll have done it in a wrong way, right? And sometimes if you count incorrectly, you will get the wrong answer, right? So you actually need to think about what's going on in the problem as well as solve the mathematical formulas. In terms of the marking, you will get 1 mark for having 6 times, and you will get 1 mark for sufficient working that gets you there. And you could do this various different ways. You could try doing this using a graphing technique. You could try doing this by finding and solving for the period. Anything that gets you the answer which is mathematically correct. So this is how we do part B.